I want to ask first, was this a role you ever pictured yourself in, or is this strictly Bryan Singer talking you into it and making you see yourself in this part?
Actually, the truth is I met 10 years ago or so Tim Burton, who was going to direct, at that time, a version of Superman.
Superman Lives, I think, right?
I can't remember. I never read a script, so I don't even know what that one was about, but it never came off. I never got offered. Brett Ratner was fishing around when he was assigned to it, and that never happened as well. So by the time Bryan got it, quite frankly, I couldn't have been happier that it landed in his lap. He's one of my favorite directors. I have a remarkable relationship with him. And I took the role without reading a script, so there wasn't any convincing to do. I trust Bryan implicitly and knew that he was the right director for this. Knew it.
Was he still working on the script when he cast you for it? Or did you have any input in that type of stuff, or did you just trust him completely?
No, I just trust him completely. I mean, by the time, I think I finally started to see something in maybe January or maybe February of last year, and then by the time I got to the set in June, they've been honing it and working on it, and because he made the schedule work for me, I worked for 6 weeks consecutively, and so by the time I got there, they'd really worked on it, and then we honed it a little bit, on the set. But it was a real joy, because Bryan, as a filmmaker, I think anyone who knows his movies would realize that he is, no matter what genre he's working in, he's always interested in character. He's always interested in what's motivating relationships. And so even though it was a big tentpole movie and big budget and all the big sets and stuff, I don't think any of us ever felt dwarfed by that. We felt encouraged that what Bryan's focus was on the relationships in the movie, and because he wanted to make something that was deeper and more emotionally involving.
Are you a comic fan, or are you a fan of the Lex Luthor?
I didn't grow up as a comic book kid. I had rockets and model cars and stuff like that. But I know Bryan certainly was from the time he was a kid, and I have great admiration and affection for the Donner films, and so it's just been a great thrill to be a part of it.
How much did you have to be aware of the line between aping Gene Hackman and paying homage? Because obviously Singer's film very much pays homage to those films. And I just wondered how much he told you about that, and how much you watched those original films, or talked to Hackman, or any of that type of stuff.
I didn't do any of that. I think, on one level, the homage part, it was Bryan's job.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to feel that, nobody wanted to set out to imitate anybody else. And because I come out of the theater, I have a philosophy that no single actor owns a part. We just rent them for a little while. There's kind of something fun for an audience to see another actor take on a role and interpret it in their own way. But I purposely didn't watch the films, and just sort of left any of that homage to Bryan as a director about what he would want. I think there were certain qualities of the humor and the quirkiness and the bemusement and the comedy that I think he wanted to retain, but he was also very interested in having a Lex Luthor that was really much more vicious and a real nemesis for Superman.